internet, and welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary Nuyorican Poets Cafe. I am your host for the evening. My name is Advocate of Wordz. Happy Monday to everyone. Let me see the beautiful faces. Here are the beautiful faces. And we still got some people coming in a little late. I'm Advocate of Wordz. It is Monday. It is the Monday Night Online Open Mic. So let us get right into it. Of course, shout out to the sung hero of the community, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, for producing this. We have been doing this for 112 weeks in a row. Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, we are streaming live, and we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. So if you happen to be watching us on Facebook, YouTube, or on Twitter, and you'd like to join us on Zoom, the number's on the bottom of the screen, 279-995-364. It will be on the bottom of the screen for about another minute. Make sure you jot it down and come hang out with us. You could speak with the poets and say some nice things about them. We'd like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, the Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free online events. You too can help us with a tax-deductible donation by going to nuyorican.org/contribute or hitting us on the Cash App, Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Tonight's theme, Red Nose Day. For those of you who don't know, Red Nose Day is to bring about awareness and to combat child poverty all across the world. That is actually today. So I figured, this should be the theme for tonight. We should talk about it. It's a real thing. Of course, those of you who signed up, if your poem is not on theme tonight, do not worry about it. You can still share your poem. On the right-hand side of the screen, you will see all of our upcoming themes. Next week is Memorial Day. Yes, we will have an open mic, online open mic on Monday for Memorial Day. Every single week, we have a Monday Night Online open mic, and you can see all of that coming up for the next 2 weeks if you want to jumpstart your writing and get ahead of it. All of this and more can not only be found on the social media, the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, but on mine. You could find me on Instagram and Twitter at Advocate of Wordz. And when you spell words, that's with a Z because poetic license. Also, I'm on YouTube. I got some interesting things there on my YouTube, so you should go check it out. Not just stuff about me, but stuff about poetry and other poets. You may want to check it out. Okay. Let us get into the rules. Poets, when your name is called, we ask that you please turn your cameras on. We are looking to simulate an in-person open mic as much as possible. We want to see your beautiful faces. We want to see you be expressive when you share your poems. And of course, we want to see if you cleaned your rooms. So make sure that you turn your camera on when, right before I'm about to call you to the stage or to the Zoom stage, the virtual stage. As well, we ask that you please have your poem ready. If you're going analog style and you're going to read off of a book or a piece of paper, make sure you have it handy. If you're going to be reading off of your computer or any other digital device, make sure that that file is already open so that when we get to you, we can get to your poem because we are here for the poems. Poets, you have 3 minutes to rock out whatever kind of poem you want, any language, any style. You have 3 minutes to do your thing. Also, you have a 30-second intro. Let the people know quickly where they can find you online, what you've got going on, but be very brief about it because, like I said, we're really here for the poems. Also, poets, you will be able to rename your Zoom name so that you can include your social media handle so that the people can see it, not just hear you say it, but they can see it on the screen if they want to give you a follow. I am big on building community, and that's one of the ways that we do so. In terms of censorship, put the kids to bed. As I say, week in and week out, some of our poets have mommy and daddy language. And on a more serious note, some of our poets will write some very vulnerable things that could possibly be triggering. This is what the founders of the cafe had intended. They were big on freedom of speech and being honest, speaking your truth. So there is no censorship. Thou has been warned. After our poets do all of that and share their beautiful poems and the piece of their soul, those of you on Zoom, this message is going to pop up. Make sure you click that blue button to unmute yourself so you can give a lot of love to the poets. Screw your neighbors. There's something wrong with them anyway, and we all know it. Don't want to talk about it unless you have it in a poem. Screw them. We are here for the poets. Shower our poets with love. It is never easy to share your poetry, whether it is on stage or you're doing so on a computer via Zoom or YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, which you can find us, New York Poets Cafe, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So, tonight's list is closed. Our signups begin 24 hours before the show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you would visit nuyorican.org, our website, and you would click Full Events Calendar. After doing that, you would click on the date you want to sign up for. So next week, I believe, if my math is right, it is the 30th. You would click on the 30th, and then you would order an artist RSVP ticket. It is the only way to get onto the open mic, an artist RSVP ticket, and I've got some updated information to share with everyone about the sign-up list and the rules, and I will get to that in a little bit. I'd like to mention the anthology. If you have performed on the Monday night or the Thursday night online open mic, only the Monday night or Thursday night online open mic, you can submit your poems that you have performed on the Monday night or Thursday night online open mic to our anthology, which we're going to begin to work on over this summer. The deadline is going to be sometime in the middle of July. I'm going to be talking a little bit about that later on because I do want to get to the poems. Of course, this Wednesday, those of you who are near the New York Poets Cafe, whether that be in the tri-state area, the city, or whatever, or you're going to be around here on Wednesday, we have our Wednesday night poetry slam open. Doors open at 8 p.m. The line forms at 7:30 p.m. You can sign up, perform your poems, be in the competition. I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later on. And of course, our workshop on Sundays, whether it's in the cafe or joining us via Zoom. The Let's Write a Book of Poems workshop. It is going along beautifully. We've had 9 of them so far. We have been producing a lot of awesome work. We've been talking about poetry, talking shop. We've been learning so much. We have been disagreeing so much, agreeing so much. We've also been hating me a little bit because some things have gotten a little bit emotional, but sometimes poetry could be like that. It's actually a lot of fun. I'm so happy to be part of this. But I'm going to be talking about that a little later on. With that being said, let us get into it. Make sure that you open up the Zoom chat because I just put the open mic list for tonight into the Zoom chat. Make sure that all of y'all are following along, opening up the chat so that you can speak to the good folks who are rocking out tonight, say nice things about them, and you can see when you are about to perform for those of you on the list. Kicking it off for us tonight is the lovely Diane Ward. I mean, the only reason I'm doing this is so I can still flirt with this woman. Such a fantastic poet as well. And look at that face, such a gorgeous face. But I know she is a married woman and I have a girlfriend, so I will behave, and we are here just for the poetry. Diane, it is a pleasure to see you. Thank you for kicking off this Monday night online open mic. I'm going to mute myself and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. I'm not going to give much of an intro because he's done it already. There are several ways to feed a child, and the red nose was, I think, originally something that we were supposed to remember that there's childhood hunger. But my spin on it is there are several ways to feed a child. And in response to another prompt that I had also responded to, this child I see, this is also relevant to this prompt. This child I see, yet how many go missing, that we would prefer to shake our heads soundly, shoulder shrug away, and tend to forget. This child I see, you would rather forget, unless this child shares your last name, was a cousin on your mama's side, was a neighbor, packed your groceries, washed your car for spending money, or attended the same camp as your kids. Or this child you had an affair with and you knew they were a minor. Wrong audience? I had an accountability moment thought you might want to entertain. This child I see has a name. It's not whore, trash, worthless, rag, or waste of space. Not named mistake. Not, I hate your daddy and too bad you look just like him. Not named money ticket. Not earn your keep. And not dummy. This child I see deserves attention, but unfortunately unfortunately too often resorts to negative behavior to get attention, because some attention is better than none in their eyes. So who is pathetic? This child I see can't envision a future beyond this present pain repeating itself over and over again with different authors from different sound bites biting at their hides, their minds, their psyches. This child I see either puts on a brave face or shrinks away deeper and deeper away from the world. For all this child knows of this world is a formula of use and abuse. Let's not lose them. This child is one of many we must retrieve from being devalued by marketers, traffickers, and for some their own treacherous, wayward, and generationally wounded families. Tell each child they have potential, are brightness, are beautiful, are lovable, are loved. Whisper in that next abused child ear, take their hand and take them towards healing and hope. Be attentive, act, report, and don't stop aiding children we all see. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Diane Ward.
Diane, way to set it off.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
Diane. Lovely.
Diane.
Love it.
Great.
Royalty.
Beautiful Diane.
Diane Ward, she is so exclusive. She does not have a social media. So if you want to find her, you can find her here in the Monday Night Online Open Mic. And what a great way to kick off this theme for tonight. I appreciate you, Diane. You know, they always say, like, the children of the future. I know it's become a little cliche, but it's still very true. And for those out there who may be thinking, like, oh, I got no kids, I'm not worried about it. Well, when you get older, guess what? The children are going to be running the world, right? So when us folks are done and we're retired and we still want things to be well those children you didn't care about are gonna be running the world. So I'm big on the youth. Even if you want to think selfishly, be big on the youth. Thank you, Diane. And if we're also talking about children and feeding them in other ways, I am the baseball coach of my kids' baseball team, and we're in second place, and we're 5-2, and we are kicking ass. But I don't want to get off topic here. Let us get back to it. So, next coming up, we have got the superhero himself, Professor Platinum, better known as Doug Silver. But you cannot tell anyone his real name, okay? It's Professor Platinum, all right? We can't have the bad guys know where to fight him. He's fighting the good fight. Doug, it is a pleasure to see you, brother. I love having you on here. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Professor Platinum online, and then the floor is yours.
Thank you, Advocate. Great to see you. Great to see everybody. Yeah, I'm still incognito in hiding and all that, but this poem's quite long, but it's on theme eventually. It's called Foraging. I've heard poets say, or more precisely, I've read poets write, that writing is hard work. Up at the crack of dawn, nose to the grindstone of the computer screen, even before the coffee kicks in, squeezing out sparks, something out of nothing. And that the myth of the muse smacking you on the forehead with, hey, what about this? Is a lie, a con, an impossible dream, like Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, clean air, and kindness. But I'm here to say, or more precisely, I'm here to write that it's not true, or it is true, depending, like so much, on your point of view. Just now, as is my nature, foraging, gleaning, sifting through the fragments earlier missed, and at a busy intersection, in the tall grasses of the median strip, I see clusters upon clusters of mushrooms. Amateur forager that I am, I immediately identify them as parasols, umbrella-like as they soon will be when they open up, maybe in the rain, maybe in the too much sun. Wandering over to a nearby park, still urban enough, but with green patches, almost wild in between, since that is where I've foraged in the past, found some mushrooms, made a soup, and didn't die of food poisoning, although I felt a bit dizzy. But I think it was more the rush of knowing I was maybe killing myself, and it tasted so good. Although my wife, more, 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 everything than me, refused to even sniff it. Meandering farther towards the boundaries of this urban park, the wildest parts, where I found so many mushrooms hiding before, instead I find a young lady dressed all in black ahead of me and looking down and around like she's lost something. That's the way to find them, you know. You're supposed to stand with your hands on the back of your hips and scan like a grandmother who's lost her wedding ring. And this girl dressed all in black was doing all this, but moving side to side, if slowly, and once or twice looking back over her shoulder suspiciously at me, even though I was 10 or more feet behind her, knowing we're still in this era of distancing, have been, will be almost forever, especially in situations like this. But nevertheless, I blurt out to her, curious as I am, mushrooms, implying, are you looking for? Pausing a bit, looking ahead and down, she replies, almost under her breath, home, implying, I'm looking for home. And there, behind the barbed wire fence of a green holly hedge, in the very margins of this world, a blanket, a backpack, a barefooted boy, dressed all in black, unmoving, fast asleep. Thank you, everybody.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Mr. Doug Silvery,
you,
Professor Platinum.
Wow.
Platinum with the bars. Let's go.
Thank you, everybody.
Professor Platinum, he's got to keep his identity secret, so he has no social media, but he is hanging out with us here every Monday. I appreciate you, Doug. Thank you for that poem. Thank you for always giving energy to this community. I love it. Let's keep it moving. Next, coming up to the microphone is the Bronx's own Claudia, and she actually has social media, so you can make sure you follow her and hound her when she doesn't show up on Mondays or on Sundays, because she's not allowed to have a life outside of us. Hi, Claudia. It's good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Make sure you let the people know they can follow you online, and then the floor is yours.
Hi, thank you for the warm welcome. I missed y'all. You guys can find me on social media at cap.rights. I'm also on Facebook. I'll post the link in the chat afterwards. This piece is not on theme, but it's been heavy on my heart and I just needed to share it. I hope you all enjoy it. It was written at one of Amanda's workshops, so shout out to you. Thank you for what you do. And let's get into it. This one is called Reflections at the Riverbank. I was tasked with the weight of your secrets. No discussion or conversation, only expectation and desire to meet your needs. I was tasked to decide over your life or mine, and in many ways you won. Now I see I chose supreme love by choosing myself. I forgave myself for the burden of our secrets. I forgave myself for carrying your anger, your fear. I have not forgiven you for making me think I needed to, but baby steps. I bow my knees in this river and I feel the cold water rise to my chest. I dip my head underwater. The weight of your secrets, our secrets, your expectations, our chained words, the look in your eyes, the tremble of your voice, the spinning of the world, I leave it all at the bottom of this river. I leave you at the bottom of this river. As I look up to see the sun through the ripples of this current, I decide again to choose your life or mine. I should come up for air. Let the weight go as I wash you away. I vow to never return to this riverbank. I vow to choose myself baptism after baptism and find new waters you've never touched for my celebration of life. Thank you.
Ooh, unmute yourselves and give it up for Claudia.
Let them know. Let them know.
Claudia.
Let them
Good.
fucking know.
So many good lines.
Let
Yeah.
them fucking know.
Really.
Let them fucking know.
Good. Whoa.
Make sure that you give a follow to Claudia at cap.rights, WRITES. And a shout out, of course, to Amanda, a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Every first day of the month, she hosts her own workshop, right? I say, give me a thumbs up. I got it right. And even though her name is La Tormenta, she really is a sweetheart. She's all bark, no bite. That's why she won't sing at our karaoke. So all bark, no bite. I'm gonna tease her all the time. Nonetheless, make sure you give her a follow. Like I said, shout out to Claudia. Make sure you give her a follow at cap.rights. And when it's rights, it's as if you're writing a poem, because that's what we do here. All right, we now going to Florida, and I know this man's gonna have a ton of energy for us, because not only does it all the time online, but he also does it at karaoke. And that's my man, Gustav Salas. Gustav, let the good folks know where they can find you online, and then we ready for your fire and energy, brother.
Okay, Advocate, wasn't NJ next on the list?
Yes, but they're not here.
Okay. You didn't mention it. It caught me by surprise. I wasn't like psychologically prepared, but I'm ready now. Here we go. This is called Sinatra Sonata. Like Sinatra with stigmata nailed upon an invisible cross. I did it my way. I'm my own boss. I'm the chairman of the board of me. That's what it means to be free, not some dystopian theocracy, dangerous books burning in the fire, witchcraft for a declining empire. It had to be you to fly me to the moon. You'll get what's coming to you soon. Enough's enough. So stuff the tough soliloquy. I'm not asking you to get happy. I'm asking for your rage. Let me try again. Stand up now or wind up in a cage. It's all or nothing at all time for democracy. Send in the clowns as the cry of idiocracy. The best is yet to come, the hollow words spoken. It's my way of life they're choking. We're more than strangers in the night. We're comrades in this crucial fight. Let me be frank, not Manchurian candidated. I know their times are hard and you're frustrated, but something stupid is going down in the USA. It's up to you and me to fight for our rights today. Thank you. Cheers.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Gustav Salas.
Gusto with the gusto. Let's go.
Yeah.
I think his poem just broke a few laws in several states across this country. This man is going to start a revolution. Gustav Salas, a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. I appreciate his energy a great deal. Thank you, Gustav. All right, let's keep it moving. Next coming up is Mr. Generalissimo. Let me unmute him. Are you here, Mr. Generalissimo? Where are you, sir? There he is. There's the beautiful goatee. Brother, let the folks know where they can find you online, and then we ready for your energy.
Can everybody put, it just went away. I was saying, can everybody please mute themselves, because there was a lot of background noise. Okay, let me pull my stuff up real quick. Here we go. I have my first piece is a brand new haiku that I just wrote, and Nick Paleologos's workshop that he did just within the last couple of hours. It's called A Haiku for Slackers. To be skillfully lazy can take a whole lot of extra time and work. And this is a piece called, the next poem is called You Can't Catch a Fish When You Forget to Put a Worm on the Hook. There have been times I have written a poem with a line I peeled off my soul and dropped from the roof of a skyscraper to slowly float with the wind indiscriminately to its new forever home in the poem, attaching itself with Gorilla Glue, achieving uneditability. It prefers to sit in a corner booth and hide from the other patrons, to quietly eat its meal whilst finishing a crossword puzzle with a ballpoint pen. When I pull the poem out for an open mic, other lines get mms and ahs. But this line I tend to read calmly and a little quieter, is satisfied sitting in its corner booth, ordering the same dish every time, always tipping the waitress just over 20% to even out the dollar amount. Sometimes audience members will compliment more showy lines, which can feed my poet ego, but on rare occasions, someone will tell me the corner booth line seems to have been lifted from their life. When that happens, I feel my poem has succeeded in an unintended manner. I'm not sure, but I don't think poems care about success. They exist in the ether to be breathed in by all exposed to them and either be absorbed into memory or simply exhaled. And finally, one more. The most expensive gift you bought yourself on Black Friday. Allow me to introduce myself. I am your insecurity blanket. A textile made from a combo of Pakistani cashmere, New Zealand merino wool, and Mongolian silk. I promise nothing that touches your skin or soul will feel more luxurious than I. Take your time to make all decisions to the detriment of timeliness. When you wrap me around yourself, you will never freeze or sweat, but you will doubt the sincerity of all praise and compliments. I am here for you to generate skepticism concerning all positivity that happens in your life. Hugs will feel like they are made of concrete. Kisses will be laced with acid. As a result, I will be the only option you have left after you've done everything wrong I have convinced you is right. So I can expand and encompass more of your aura. Unless and until you realize I am all in your mind. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Generalissimo.
Nice job.
Generalissimo. You rock.
The insecurity blanket. I like that flip right there. Make sure you give Generalissimo a follow. He is a mainstay here, and he has a book out as well. Make sure you follow him, hit him up so you can find out how you can get his book. Love the luscious goatee as always, Mr. Generalissimo. Love it. So Jody Summers is supposed to be next, but he's having some trouble joining us. He will be with us in a second. So we are going to go to the hardcore partier up in North Minnesota, and that is Liz Minette. Liz, I'm happy to see that you have turned the music down and put the drink down to come hang out with us. let everyone know they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
Okay, I will do that right now. And on Facebook, and I'm putting, I'm old school. I'm on Facebook and I'm putting it in the chat right now. Okay, there we go. And yeah, hangover today. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. All right, this is my piece. It's called Mabel Moving. The guy sitting next to me in the coffee house, let's see, not drinking anything, mumbles now and again to himself. He mumbles something inaudible to the window, to a woman passing by who is kick-pushing 2 cardboard boxes overflowing with clothes as she drags a plastic trash bag spilling with clothes behind her. It is 20 below today. As I exit the shop, a pair of cut-off jeans lays atop an icy snowbank. Up ahead on the sidewalk, 2 girls have stopped to help the woman carry her things. The $4.75 mocha sloshes my stomach as I run to return the shorts. One of the girls is flipping soft pink jean cutoff shorts back into one box as the other girl hefts the box with white jean shorts riding on top. I offer to carry the trash bag, stuffing the blue jean shorts inside, even though the bag is slowly coming apart, a clean plastic purr birthing the weight of clothes. We walk, We mince on ice ragged like a cardboard sign, in need, anything helps. The woman has glitter stars at the corner of her eyes, glitter bubbles frame her mouth. She mumbles about not being able to give anything away, evictions, something about the church, something about a sister who's located somewhere between 6th Avenue and 4th Street. Her mumbling becomes a shouted exclamation every now and again, and is like a round over and under myself and one of the girls as we talk about how our dads were homeless or always having to move. The shelter is our journey, and so we shortcut through the skywalk to the avenue. We take the elevator whose smooth silver doors open a quiet swoosh to envelop us and close with a velvety thunk like maybe the most expensive automobile. On the street, the avenue, ice again meets us, and the sun is not strong enough to melt anything. At the shelter, boxes and barely holding together bag drop to a bench. We ask the woman her name, and she says, Mabel, Mabel from Mississippi. Thank you, girls, and God bless.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Liz Minette.
That's really powerful.
Wow, that was
Liz.
different.
Beautiful.
Nice. Nice.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Liz Minette, make sure you go follow her or befriend her on Facebook, and you can find out where all the great parties are in in the north central ass part of the United States. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate you being part of this community and sticking around of late. Don't go anywhere, all right? You can party every other day, just not on Mondays, okay? Just not. You could use all day Monday to recover from Sunday partying. Liz Minette. All right, let's keep it moving. We are now going to the UK, not to my girlfriend Mariela Salazar, who is here, but we are going to Lantern Carrier. Let me unmute my man Lantern Carrier, who's staying up late to give us all that fire he gets to bring. Did he do? Whoa, where'd he go? Oh, there he went. Wait, we can't get you unmuted, brother. I see him pointing at his screen, but he's not unmuted. There we go.
I think I got it.
There we go. All right, my man, let the folks know they can find you online, and then we ready for your fire. Bring it.
I'll do that. I'll read the poem first and put it in the chat. Okay. Poetry is the finest flowers, all immaculately arrayed in exquisite bouquet of tulips and roses, each with their own aromas, blending together in a garden of sweetest love. Poetry is the breath of the psalmist David, chanting lyrical love songs to the impoverished, lifting them from the labyrinth of confusion and despair. Poetry is the glint in her eyes, heart unfurling like winter sweet clematis, to words so adorable that her cheeks shine with the elegance of magic, ready to acquiesce the delicate weaving of each tender emotion. Poems are missiles, not for greed nor wanton destruction, but for targeting the lonely so that their bird of hope can shine, the red threads of remorse erased by the dizzy heights of eloquent bars. Poetry maneuvers, not with the killing instinct of jet fighter pilots, but in soaring with a bevy of phoenixes, igniting my weeping fears and searing pain into the moonlit beauty of shooting stars. War creates poverty, displacement of families and children. Poetry homes in on the childlike gaiety of Red Nose Day, thus raising awareness around the world by helping to tackle poverty, violence, division, and discrimination. Daisy cutters dig the earth, creating craters, searching for the less fortunate in bunkers. Poetry stabs the soul with love, lifting the insecure like fine wine into the delectable banquet of heavenly sweetness. I was fine while surfing on the ocean's crest. The light of the sun consoled me. The waves resonated the melody of symphonies. Alas, greed entered with gifts of toxic promises. Her brother lust, raping and pillaging the land, sneering at the cries and afflictions of the innocent young. ego dined on caviar, in palaces with princely robes, its callous coffers filled with diamond spoils of war. Gone was the symphonies of bluebirds and nightingales, lost the immaculate purity of roses and childlike naivety. I could hear the wailing of hovering drones, taste the smell of sacrilege in the ambience of the breeze. I saw the little children run, maimed or dying, and I cried like a weeping willow, a river of tears to ease my pains. Just yesterday, I was dancing with the swans like Plisetskaya. Today, my eyes are frozen with the darkness of the night. Love is somehow still on duty, just. The poetic light of my soul weeps, while King Solomon's songs cries out to the deepest tabernacles of heaven. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Thank you, Lantern Carrier. Unmute yourselves and give it up for him.
Normally live.
Yeah,
that's how matches are wrestling.
Always dope.
Owned it.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Lantern Carrier, brother, make sure you put your info in the chat so the people could give you a follow. I love having this man on, I know, and I am so selfish. I'm still like, stay up super late to be with us. He's out in the UK. I appreciate you so much, brother. Lantern Carrier, he just put his info into the chat. Make sure that you give that dude a follow. All right, next coming up is Lamar Mitchell, and this dude brings it. This dude, he got words for days. Every now and then, like Lamar Mitchell, he hangs out with us, then he disappears. He comes back, hangs out with us, and he disappears. And then he hangs out with us, he disappears. Brother, it's good to see you. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and then we ready for your fire.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna put in the chat a YouTube video my friend worked on about my poetry. So here we go. This one's called Affoscato. My dark circle of atheist vampires know no wars but the soul kind. I'm minting julep gold rhymes. Turkish bizarre funk quotes mine on ancient old shrines. In the Martian tornadoes, I turn wind into whipped milk ice cream. Gaily and extraterrestrial of horizontal hierarchies of bi kings and bi queens. Sky slinger with the misanthropic tint in my fiber optic eyes as the color spectrums flicker. All the retinas register as homelessness and homicide. I switch to maple sappy syrup to turn over a new tobacco leaf and fill up Castle Street with Afro geeks, romping and rallying even when the cash flow's weak. Lost in white space, I'm just a black dot spitting over Donnie Brasco's beats, wearing wires with my birthday suit, and still they suspect the black hole beast. Light skin with a hint of privilege in my American armor, transhumanoid, self-empowered, stimulated Kundalini into Aquarian coiffure, wild-haired Medusa, Grace Jones of the Kabuki Phantom Opera, okra fried chakras, knuckle drag across the contagious continent in the gradual flow of lava. Popular quantum mechanics is my stand-in for sacred pornography. I'm a square with the flair for banking on others' tragic comedies. Flatworm the amber. Now my glowing trees overachieve amongst multiple abysses. Gain agency in Atlantis, running with mermaid graffiti crews, pinning burners for negritude eclipses. Obfuscate of shadows enlighten my path in the pink prince of Iblis. Sickness ye shall find in its occipital low flashing the lunar realm's mistress. Distance between image and actuality finish at the Pacific Rim without a Jaeger as a hindrance. 100 kaiju defeated. Mighty Joe Young for the respect and the population control. My ovulation paroled, 1,000 inner children as my pagan denomination unfolds. Unclothed ideas love the freedom of living in the wilderness. Eating buffalo meat burritos prescribed by silversmiths. I've fallen in love with my silhouette for moon colony pride parades, double fisting nightshade as I isolate the atom of my mind grenades. Fish scale filleted, scraped off with an intricate knife to refill my black mountain. Hourglass regressing, I'm Leonard Shelby, tattooed with Yakuza narratives, ruling vice in Oaktown crack houses. Genetic thread, magnetic lead, pandemic fed me. Pallid opportunity, bless those that died of COVID. Locusts swarm out of spin Dr. Druidry. Tupac of lunacy, serpent shining through the Uncle Tom enabled futility. If peace is my profession, wise actions are my artillery. Umbilically connected to the tragedy that terrified my Nile River children, rise above the inherent matricide and spread into the wild splinter village. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up to Lamar.
Wow.
Damn.
That was awesome.
Damn,
That was
bro.
incredible.
Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
The beast ball. Shit.
Open my.
Words and imageries for days and days and days. This is what Lamar Mitchell brings to the community. Love having him on, man. Make sure you let the people know where they can follow you. You said you're going to put into the chat where your YouTube is, what you were talking about. Don't go far, Lamar. Do not go far. No, you could go far, but not far from us. And wherever you go, bring us with you. Lamar Mitchell. All right, let's keep it moving. We now go into my man. Where's Jody Summers? I know he can't. Oh, here's Jody Summers. And there he is playing with the crystals, and he's putting it right there in front of the camera. He is one with the universe. Jody, let the good folks know they can find you online, brother. Now let's hear that fire.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. So I'm back again and with new hats. Clothing turning into artwork. You can find me online. Type in my name, Jody, and I'm on Google, Instagram, Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that. Catch videos and everything. I'm not on theme, so sorry, no Red Nose Day, but I am on theme for my stuff, which is the childhood traumas. This is number 26, and I hope y'all enjoy. Maybe you tell an X or two about this. It's called Forgiveness. So let's begin. Peace. I hope that you heal. I write this piece in hopes that somewhere on the whispers of the wind, it reaches you. To that person that told me I was too much and didn't have time to communicate. I hope that you heal. These words come directly from someone who survived after being abandoned, left, and struggled to find their balance without you. To all my exes, past friendships, old jobs, people that left me on red, I hope that you heal. I am no longer tormented, upset, depressed, or traumatized, just traumatized at the thought of you. I found peace in knowing whatever damage you did to the person I used to be, I grew to be stronger without you. I hope that you heal. I no longer stay up endless nights crying over what happened, worrying about what I did wrong and detached from reality because I couldn't figure out what was broken and how, after so much time spent, how it couldn't be fixed. I've dealt with all the self-loathing and understanding that our puzzle pieces, yes, our puzzle pieces weren't meant to be part of the same picture. And no matter how hard I tried to fit you into the vision we said we saw together, our destinies was to be apart. To the person that might pick up these words and reminisce on the memories we shared together, however brief or long they might be, I hope that you heal. This is not an invitation for an open conversation, but a statement that I must make on my path to finding my own forgiveness for a situation I should have never been involved in. I hope that you heal. I thank you for the growth. And no matter how painful the situation might have been, you make up some of the random chapters of my life that pushed me to move forward and stop looking back on situations that don't deserve my energy. This poem is not about you, but the shedding of a person that was weak, yes, was weak for you, when at time I should have been strong for me. I've grown, adapted, and evolved. So I write this piece in hopes that somewhere, yes, somewhere on the whispers of the wind, it reaches you. I hope that you heal and found acceptance in yourself without manipulating someone's joy to feel real. And peace.
Whew, unmute yourselves and give it up for Jody.
Wow.
Wow. That was
Always
amazing.
with the heat, man. Come on.
Woo, amazing.
I'll throw myself.
Jody Summers, make sure you put your stuff into the chat. I think right when I clicked the mute button, I think that's what he was about to say. He's gonna put all his information in there. Well, you know, poetry, you know, in many ways it's twofold. It's technique and and it's also digging deep, you know, and that I feel like Jody dug real deep, man, to be able to write that poem. I appreciate that. Jody Summers, a mainstay here at the Monday Night Line Open Mic. We very much appreciate having him as part of the community. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. All right, let's keep it moving. Next coming up, we going to the BX with Tabitha. Now, Tabitha was supposed to go early, but she had some technical difficulties, and she had to change some stuff up on the fly, so I know she's going to bring us some heat. Tabitha, let the folks know where they can find you online, and then we ready for your fire, sis.
Good looking advocate. Hey, everybody, I'm Tab, 001 _ I'm looking at Mariella's face. She's so beautiful. All right, let me go. I was old enough to know what this was supposed to look like. Capes rolled to the back of his head like 25 years of destruction laid in every part of his body. Figures trembled. Voices of his mistakes filled every part of my mother's 2-bedroom apartment, and I didn't know what else to do, so I dialed. An ambulance arrived, 2 men, white shirts, and a medical bag. We let the illusion paint face that a betrayal has disoriented a child who stands aside all the years her father spent absent. Shaping the letters that came early, Polaroid pictures come covered in government markings. In efforts to keep face, he signs the ends of his letters, "Love your father." I miss him. I always did. Now I stand inside an ambulance, being the face of a broken man. This wouldn't be the first of his attacks, nor the first of my heartbreaks. I remember the broken glass and all her questions. How each time I tried to pick a piece of her, I bled. Height of a child's second home to NA meetings. Their prayer, my alphabet. Medallions that shine like key rings to a new life. Left better memories until there were none. Titled Withdrawals. MP, shout out to everybody, every child that battles addiction. I love all of you guys. Thank you for the space.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Tabitha.
Do with it. Let's go.
That was nice. That was nice.
Tabitha, not only a mainstay of Monday Night Online Open Mic, but a mainstay of the community. Love having her in the cafe for the workshop, the Let's Write a Book, a poems workshop. Loved having her at Hybrid and at karaoke. Love having this woman's energy and her poetry be part of this community. Make sure that you go and you give her a follow. Tabitha. Also, make sure, poets, that you're checking out the chat. People are saying nice things about you, like they're calling Tabitha Rapunzel because she's let down her hair. It's looking fabulous, Tabitha, looking fabulous. But Tabitha, do me a favor. Don't hit on my girlfriend. Thank you very much, all right? Don't hit on my girlfriend, okay? She's like, I don't care. I'm from the Bronx. She's about to type something in the chat. All right, right before we go to Mon Ami, because that is who's next, I want to quickly give the mic to Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, the sung hero of the community. He is the producer of tonight. He's got not a poem, but he's going to say a few words where you can find him and all that, and then we're going to get to Mon Ami. Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, how are you, brother? Let the good folks know where they can find you online and what you got going on.
Thank you very much. Well, you can find me here on Mondays with the New Rican Poets Cafe online, also on Wednesdays at the Slam Poetry, and monthly at the Hybrid and karaoke events on every second Saturday of the month. Personally, you can find me at Ron Mark Thompson on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and I also run an organization, Bronx Art and Fun Hub. We will be doing 2 more writing workshops this month on Friday and on Monday, Memorial Day. And I put all the information in the chat, including the Wordz Right, where I also volunteer my services to host some workshops. All right, let me unmute next one on the list, Monami Coelho. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name. And we didn't skip you. We just had to reshuffle some of the poets due to some technical difficulties. I think that's the universe keeping Advocate and me online to make sure that we get everybody from the list. So Monami, welcome back. I know you, I believe you performed here on Mondays last year with us. I'm glad you're back. Introduce yourself to anyone who may not know you yet, and then go ahead with your poem. The floor is all yours.
Okay. Hello, my name is Monami. I performed I performed the Poet Cafe before in person and here. I did poetry. I did the Trayvon Martin poetry and stuff. Also, my Facebook is Monami Coelho and Instagram is Coelho. No, Instagram, my new Instagram is Coelho.monami.coelho. That's all I got. I'm still trying to figure out my Snapchat, and also my Twitter is Coelho Monami1. So I'm gonna start rapping one of my songs that I did. Basically some dark stuff and everything. So yeah. Yeah. You can hear it?
Great, let it run. Hey yo, turn the beat up a little bit. Hey yo. This song is for anyone.
Thanks, Paul.
Fuck it. Shut up and listen. Hey yo.
My name is Michelle. L wanted me to stop calling her when I think strong in my lungs. I goodbye photo. Esther said it was creepy. When I told her she died, she said she didn't know that. Sharon and Michelle's father kicked me out of the house. When my mom smelled the odor got around the house, it stink around the whole place. Like if you would have been with me and George Calvin, they would have probably tried to throw him off the balcony and put him into agony. They'll be very angry. It'll be a very bad tragedy. She's like my mommy. She doesn't want to let go. Like she didn't like when I called her a she. And if I make a mistake, she'll say that that's some naughty shit.
Whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In the paper, the news, every day I am. Radio only proclaim my chance, cause I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In the paper, the news, every day I am. I don't know, it's just the way I am.
When I viewed some random photos, Vanessa said it was scary. The audience was at the pizza shop, and she saw my friend Louis pick the glass window. Shirley said Elisha is her uncle. I drank liquor because of my mother and for my friend cousin Rondo and Stephen passing away. And every time when I do my own Black Lives Matters protest work, I think about the bullying I went through in my life. I think about the victims who died from that, like Megan, my year, 16 control, prior to stereotype, Amanda Todd, Desiree Butler, Jasmine King, Fuller Ryan, Austin Murphy, Ryan McCain, and Public Station.
Whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In the paper, the news, every day I am. Radio only play my jam, cause I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In the paper, the news, every day I am. I don't know, it's just the way I am.
When Esther and her father had problems with me, I was thinking to myself, probably they were thinking I'm a rapist, cause I thought about Marie Diallo that I shot in 1999. The cops mistook him for a rape suspect, so I thought to myself, probably Esther got raped by a black male like me. and her father said he got his eyes on you. Because of that, Mark got a call from someone from a burner phone saying he's a phony father, that he should die, and he's a bad guy, and that shit will shady as hell.
Cause I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In the paper, the news, every day I am. Radio won't even play my jam. Cause I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In the paper, the news, every day I am. I don't know, this is the way I am.
Finish.
Okay, thank you. Let me ask everyone to unmute. Go ahead, give a round of applause to Monami, please.
Yeah.
All right, Monami, let's go. You're at work with it. Let's go.
I messed up a little bit on the second verse. Yeah, but
No, you did great. If you look at the chat, the tempo and the beat was amazing, but we did have a little trouble hearing your words. The music was a little loud. So next time, lower the music just a little bit so we can hear your beautiful voice, or sing it a cappella. There's nothing wrong with, singing a cappella, because we want to make sure we get to, hear you. So Monami, please put in the chat where we can find you online, and, thank you again for coming. Hope you keep coming back. We get to hear more from you. Little less from the music, but more from you. But it's still great. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. All right, coming up next, we're gonna go to New Jersey. Terry Rose Jurtson. She is working on her book right now. Terry, are you there? I'm unmuting you. Here we go. Terry, yep. Hey, Terry, I just saw you at another workshop at Fincapulary like an hour ago, so it's so good to have you here. Tell everyone the amazing poetry book that you're working on and that we can look forward to, and then go ahead with your poem.
Yes. The name of the book is The Chameleon Chronicles, and Words Never Spoken is the subtitle. And with the Fierce 15 that are coming out with Red or Green Books, and I'm going, the plan is to go to New York to be there for the poetry festival. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm trying to work out logistics and everything, because even though I'm in New Jersey, it's still not that easy, because I'm trying to figure out how to get over there, because you cannot drive on that island. But I don't want to take up all the time talking about that. I'll be there. If anyone's interested in that book, just like private message me or I have PayPal, so we can work out like a payment. And so I'll just go. There was a place upstairs behind a regular door which led to our attic. The size of it was the length of the top of the first floor. The steps going up creaked as much as I wanted them to hush. You see, I was hiding from my mother, the woman who offended me on a daily basis. She did or said something to which I replied, "I'm running away." She never argued. She would help me pack, remaining as nonchalant as she could be after hearing my threat more times than she could count. And when she wasn't looking, I would tiptoe with my bag up those stairs and sit in between the beams of unfinished wood, sweating with the sap of pine crystallized on the splinter-filled framework of our first family home. Perhaps she knew she could wait me out every time, and eventually I would get tired of hiding. I would come back down and pout in my room, wondering why she never came to look for me, or if she even noticed I was gone. Light streaming in through the windows, growing dark, what seemed like an eternity was probably only 5 minutes. And that's that piece.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Terry Rose Jurtson.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I didn't know Terry Rose was working on a book. I'm excited about that. Congratulations, Terry Rose. You see, this is why Ron Mark Thompson is the sung hero of the community. He knows even more than me. Make sure that, Terry, make sure you let the people know where they can find you online. You can put it in your chat so that they know where to look for your book when it comes out. Also, real quick, can everyone unmute themselves and give it up for Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, the sung hero of the community?
Ron Mark Thompson.
RMT.
RMT.
Are you down with RMT? Yeah, you know me, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, always putting in all that work behind the scenes. All right, let us go to our next. Oh, man. We gotta go to this next person. I mean, he's pretty cool. I got to do a feature on Friday with Dominican writers. Shout out to Dominican writers, who's all awesome. And this person was here, and yeah, I guess we like his poetry and whatnot, whatever. You know, but he stayed away from hybrids. He knew my girlfriend was there, and my girlfriend likes him, whatever. And she's all noticing in the chat, oh, he got a haircut. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Nico Diaz. What's up, brother? How are you doing? It is a pleasure to see you with my girlfriend not around, at least in person. Make sure that you let the people know they can follow you online, and then we ready for your fire, brother.
So it was good, Advocate. It was good to connect this past Friday up in the Heights. First and foremost, Advocate gave a masterclass in performance. It was my first time seeing him, not as a host, but as a feature, and it was phenomenal. So I highly recommend looking him up on YouTube, give him a like, subscribe, and also we need to encourage him to perform more. It'd be nice to hear him. But yeah, it was good. I'm Nico Diaz, queer Afro-Latinx poet here in the Bronx and repping East Harlem as well. And you can follow me at nicodiaz.nyc. And I'm gonna be doing a piece that I was inspired to write after going to like a slam. It wasn't a slam poetry. It was like a really great performance last Thursday in the Bronx by this group called Voices in Power. Phenomenal event, like so much fun, so lit at Bronx Brewery. They should be having another one in July. So I will share that information when I get it with the group. Come to the Bronx, a lot of amazing talent, lots of different folks coming through. So highly recommend it. So this piece I was inspired to write from that event, and the title is Ironworks. Man, my will is iron, wrought in the embry embrace of desire, despite hardship. That blacksmith knew what he was doing when he made me out of blackness. Mahogany, ebony, obsidian, a stain so stubborn it obfuscates oblivion in a country that so desperately wants to forget, wants to redirect, to purge, to bleach out the history of its original sin, to burn down your inner peace, loot your inner Eden, gentrify your heart and mind, rot your deep within, fuck all this noise, give us our billions. Give us our trillions, give us our flowers, what is owed. 40 acres and a mule, I demand what is ours, won't settle for less, won't be a fool. Exhausted by being the exception and not the rule, tired of believing I can dismantle his master's house using master's tools. I refuse to be abused, to be used, bloody, beaten, bruised, and contused, my soul is tired. My mind confused, bewildered by the notion I am only as good as what I produce. Reduced from the grinding gurgle of the gears in this machine. Bitch, I am a queen. I refuse. I object, I reject, I rebuke, I reclaim, I rejoice. I relish the sound of my own voice in a world that just wants me to be quiet. That so profits off our silence, our complicity is stock. Bitch, speak up, speak up, speak out. I tell myself when every fiber of my being tells me to shrink, when the stage calls to me, but the world has told me to stay in my seat. Bitch, I will repeat, refuse, speak up, speak out. My will is iron, wrought in the embry embrace of desire despite hardship. That blacksmith knew what he was doing when he made me out of blackness. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Nico Diaz.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Great job.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yo, Nico, spit that shit, man. Spit that.
Nico Diaz, make sure you give him a follow at NicoDiaz.NYC. It was a pleasure seeing him this weekend, man. This dude has such great energy. I really appreciate having him as part of the community. And make sure you come to Hybrid, man, especially next month, all right? Second Saturday of the month, y'all come there, all right? My girlfriend's not going to be there, so you're more than welcome to come to this one. Nico Diaz, go give him a follow. All right, because I know some people have come in a little late to check things out. This is the Monday Night Online Open Mic. We have been doing this for 112 weeks in a row, every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube and on Twitter. The Zoom number's on the left-hand side of the screen. It is the same number every Monday, 279-995-364. You can give me a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and on the YouTubes. Look me up, Advocate of Wordz. When you spell words, make sure you put a Z at the end because, you know, Bronx, what, hip-hop. So go give me a follow. You can find out all that I've got going on, including a lot of different open mics and workshops I host, and the occasional feature now and then. I've been in the lab working. Okay, our sign-up list is closed. To sign up, I want to talk about this. Wait. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna take this down and tell you the new rules. So our sign-ups begin 24 hours before the show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, visit nuyorican.org, and you would click Full Events Calendar. When you do so, you would click on the Monday that you were signing up for. Next week is May 30th. So on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, you click on May 30th, and you get an artist RSVP ticket. It is the only way to sign up for the open mic list. Now, before we move forward to talk about the rest of the stuff, real quick. So, the landscape is changing, folks. The landscape is changing. And therefore, because now it is summer, people are moving offline, we are having a lot more room on the open mic list. Therefore, our rule about not being able to sign up in consecutive weeks, we're going to put on pause. I don't know if it will come back, if it will ever come back, which means that everyone who rocked tonight will be able to sign up for next week. Everyone is going to be able to perform in consecutive weeks now for the foreseeable future. I know a lot of people have been thinking, man, you know, I'm missing this topic and I have to do this topic and I'm trying to like maneuver this way and sign up this way so I can get to this topic. Well, from now on, if you want to sign up every week for the foreseeable future, you will be able to do that. With that being said, let me get back to the business of sharing stuff. So, what do I have next? Yes, this Wednesday is the Wednesday Night Poetry Slam Open. It is like an open mic. It is a competition. It is at 8. The doors open at 8 p.m. The line forms at 7:30, and the list fills up quickly, so make sure you form that line at 7:30 p.m. It is right here at the cafe. The winner will be invited to a Friday night slam here at the cafe, and that will put them into the tournament to become the Grand Slam champion of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, you have to perform in person. There is no online aspect to it, although you can watch online if you want. You can get tickets to that on nuyorican.org. But if you want to compete, you got to be here in person. The line forms at 7:30. The doors open at 8, and you sign up when the doors open right here at the cafe. Also, we've been speaking about the anthology, and I'm going to be giving updates on that shortly. There is a lot going on, and hopefully next week I have some big news for myself and some changes for the cafe that I can't talk about right now. Anyway, in terms of the anthology, if you have performed on a Monday night or a Thursday night online open mic, only the Monday night or Thursday night online open mic, you can submit a poem that you have performed on one of our online open mics. In fact, you can submit up to 5 poems to be put into the new anthology that is being worked on. Each submitted poem must have been read on Monday or Thursday. And when you send the poems, it has to be in a single file, whether you send 1 poem or 5 poems, in a single file, in a PDF or a Word document. All styles and languages are welcome. Submissions are to be emailed to me, advocateofwords@gmail.com. We're going to have the submission closing date is going to be the middle of July. Okay, so you've still got plenty of time to get those poems together and then email them to me, advocateofwords poemwordz@gmail.com. Also, every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. here at the cafe and on Zoom, we have the Let's Write a Book of Poems workshop. We are going over writing. We are doing tons of writing prompts. We're going over different types of writing forms, closed form poetry, open form poetry, all the good stuff. We are going into all of the jargon. We are focusing on technique. We are going into emotions. It is crazy, and I am loving it. I am loving the culture that is being formed there. And we have some people who don't even attend our open mics that come and hang out with us. I'm having a good old time with that. Also, we go over editing, the different tips in terms of how to edit your poems. Soon we're going to be going over what the job of an editor is and what type of editors there are. We have had some editing classes that I think have been super helpful. We've been reading each other's poems. There's so much to it. And then sometime in the beginning of the next year, after we've written so many poems, we are going to talk about how to format a book, what to look for in terms of independent publishing, publishing with a small house, publishing with a big house. All of that stuff is great. Also, over the summer, I intend on bringing in some poets, other poets who have had a great deal of success and have published poems, to come in and lead some workshops. I'm talking about some big names that I'm really excited about it. I haven't locked anything in just yet. You know, the contracts haven't been signed yet, so I'm not going to say anything, but it's going to be beautiful. All of this is every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. So you can either join us via Zoom or you can join us here in the cafe. All of that info and more is on the website and, of course, on my social media. And I think that's it. Yep. We went over everything. With that being said, let us get back to the poetry. And it is Imbanosi. I hope I'm saying his name right. I know he got to hang out with us one time. He rocked out, and it was all kinds of beautiful, and he made bird noises within his poem. It was beautiful. Imbanosi, how are you, brother?
Doing great. I'm doing great, brother. It's good to see you. Love your energy. It's so infectious. And, thank you for welcoming me back. My spoken word name is actually Zomkondo. And so I finished this like 5 minutes before I got on here because I wanted to be on theme. So if I make mistakes, forgive me for that. Okay. So the title of this one is They Know a Red Bloody Nose. We live in a world where children don't get to be children no more, because they spend their young days picking up the adult mess from the floor. Some of them are ghetto kids, so they know a red bloody nose. Some will never know they are actually a beautiful black rose. They pick up this adult mess from the dirty floors upon which they are forcefully born. Poverty. To the floors of the sweatshops that failed to clothe them, because the motive was never to support their mothers, but deepen their silence. I wrote them this poem, imagining the tragic stories that do not make the press. The stories that walk outside newsrooms shaking their heads, looking at journalists through the windows as they tiptoe around war zones and send their best drones to celebrity courtrooms and new shopping malls. The stories that might have been dressed up before the war and in the midst of it, dirtied up their clothes and wished the cameras would stay longer to take photographs of their best side before the chaos. The stories that tried to protect their children, but the photographer was in the way. But it did take some lethal shots too that day. Everyday explosions go up in the world that children's bodies have to find shoulders for. And when they grow up with cold shoulders, we scold them, forgetting the icebergs that grew there from winters that we manufactured ourselves in the clouds, the ice storms that we made them endure. And the only reason the kids survived is because nothing is heavy with a heart that is pure. There is a compost heap for every mouth that goes to sleep hungry. And it will take no more than an hour for all of the world's banks to print money. But we live in a world where we value children like which soccer team won, like what we had for dinner, like an afterthought after the thoughtful but empty gifts. No one takes ships to watch anything but money. We live in a world where playgrounds are overgrown with the full ugliness of our neglect. And the snakes that live there will not let the swings fly in the air. So these kids might never know even the color of a rose. And some of them are ghetto kids. So they know a red bloody nose. Happy Red Nose Day. One love. Zomkonto.
Unmute yourselves and make some noise.
Let's go. Bring that fresh into him. That fresh.
Go.
Woo, second time hearing this man, and I love his energy. Zomkonto, make sure that you give him a follow. Put your information in the chat so people know where they can find you. Make sure you back here all Mondays, all right? I don't care what else you're doing in the world. You make sure you here with us every Monday. Love having this man. I love his energy. Love it, love it. All right, it's getting noisy here in the cafe. They rocking out here at the Monday open mic on site. So let's keep it moving. Get this next poet up. And we're going to Malaysia with our brother, Julian Matthews. Let me unmute Julian. There he goes. Julian, a pleasure to see you. Love hearing your poetry, brother. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and then we ready for it.
Yeah, so apologies, the guys upstairs have started drilling. Here goes, Ode to Heaven. Never knew at the entrance to the pearly gates I could see so many lining up with shopping carts, some filled with milk and eggs, bread and cheese, bacon and sausages, and toilet paper rolls, lots of it. Some carts still with the chain to reclaim the coin dangling from the handle, and a few looked stunned, befuddled, frustrated, as if in mid-aisle searching for a favorite cereal which the store clerk kept changing its place on the shelf. Their faces tense, wanting to hurry back to the car and the condo and the Netflix binge, This Is Us, or some Korean drama and their busy, busy lives. Some stare at their smartphones, trying to make sense of it all, querying smarter others, while some look in the distance, awaiting men in blue or black or perhaps angels to show up. But a few catch on real quick, look below and smile. There is the young, scared man feeling himself up as if looking for bullet holes or exit wounds. Finding none, his chest caves in, breathing out in relief. There is the doctor and the nurse still in their blue PPE, discussing something seriously. There is the matron in her brown habit chatting with the weedy addict, his teeth chattering, and the homeless man holding on to his precious cardboard bed. There is the woman, her clothes drenched, gripping her bawling, hungry baby before another woman in line offers her a shawl. And then there are the children. So many children, their ribs sticking out, empty bowls in hands, their eyes filled with tears of 1,000 mothers. I shake my head and squint, looking up and down for someone, anyone familiar. It's hard to tell up here in the clouds. The line is so long, but the family faces are few and some still have their masks on. Just like back on Earth towards the end when the heat scorched the planet and it felt like we were all that child left in the car by a wayward parent. When the rich climbed into spaceships and left and the rest of us fought for the last crumbs of their apathy. When the oceans rose higher and higher and we were the refugees pushed off the ship called empathy. We were never in the same boat. We were all in the same storm. But some were in super yachts, others in broken wooden rafts. I have to confess, I too ignored their calls. I backflipped and dived into those troubled waters. My visibility was poor. Maybe my mask was just fogged up and I couldn't tell a sponge from an anemone and ignored the fish with their mouths agape. I went down, deep enough into the blue beauty of a meditative sea in search of clarity from the glow of the coral, and I could hear the sirens laughing at me and I could touch the selfish heaven I wanted to see and dream of being finally free. Then the long line before me miraculously dissipates. No more unreturned cards, only cartwheels. No more waiting, no more hurting, no more hunger, no more tears, no more unrequited pain. And I find myself on the edge of the Rainbow River along with the children ahead of me. And I faithfully, fearlessly, foolishly so expect to be let in. End poem, thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Julian Matthews.
Julian. Always with the heat, man. Truly appreciate you.
We were never in the same boat, but we were in the same storm. Julian Matthews, go give this man a follow. A brilliant writer. Love having him here on the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Our brother out in Malaysia. Julian, thank you so much for sharing with us. And I had noticed too that Julian had a date night with the special person in his life, and they actually ran into the musician that had sang at their wedding. So that was awesome. Yes, Julian, I am stalking you, brother. Julian Matthews, make sure that you go give this dude a follow. Real quick, I want to shout some people out who are here listening in and who are not on the open mic, like Marilee Johnson, who is all done up, prepared for Red Nose Day. I appreciate you, Marilee, very much. Aurora Writings as well is here. She is new to the community, been with us for a few weeks, and she is awesome. I appreciate you being here. I see the Urban Cowboy Poet. I think he's got an orange for a nose. My man, the Urban Cowboy. Oh, of course, my girlfriend comes back. She ran away from the computer when I wasn't on. But the minute I mentioned, Urban Cowboy Poet, she comes back to check him out. I see you. Love that dude. Also, our brother out in Japan, Poetic, checking us out. Appreciate you as always, brother. Always giving us shout outs out there. The people in Japan know about us because of that, dude. Love you, man. We've also got representing Brooklyn, Mia Aguilera. Always love having her on. She rocked that hybrid before and she killed it at karaoke last month. She was awesome. A superstar, rock star right there. My man Scott Pleasance is in the Zoom chat. Appreciate you, brother. If you ever hear us say, "Great Scott," we have a pleasant gesture. That is from my man Scott Pleasance. He was the first to give up his spot for someone else. And also, I had an extra spot and I asked Mr. Tessasomok if he wanted to rock tonight. And he was like, "No, you can give it to someone else tonight." My man, Mr. Tessasomok, is here checking us out as well. Appreciate you, brother. I hope all is well. I've also seen active is my man, Propaganda Poet, who be having his own show via Instagram. Propaganda, make sure you put your info in the chat. He be doing it every Sunday. Love that dude. My man DG Clearing is here as well. I got to meet him at Hybrid a few weeks ago. This dude is tall. Usually his camera angle is down, so I didn't think he was that tall. He is much taller than me. He's like 6'3", I think, or something like that. So also in the building, I keep mentioning our after party karaoke, Mr. Paul Con Queso. I don't know if he is there. We like to call him our honey trap. I saw him on earlier. He is still connected via Zoom. Appreciate you, Paul. I hope all is well with you. And of course, Kayvon James is here as well, a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic and at our events here in the cafe. And Marcia Rivera is here in Zoom. We got to meet Marcia Rivera. We got to meet her. She walked in all done up and her brim low. And I was outside with Mariella, my girlfriend, and we were like, what? We were having a serious conversation. We were like, what? Wait. Is that Marcia Rivera? What? Is that Marcia Rivera? It was Marcia Rivera. It was a pleasant surprise to see you, sis. Make sure that you keep coming back around. The cafe is your home as well. So, Paul Con Queso, he's at the gym, making sure that he stays as the honey trap. Real quick, we're gonna unmute the sweaty honey trap so he could talk a little bit about the karaoke. Brother, you there? Wait, no, put your video on. We want to see you. So there we go. There goes the honey trap. Brother, let the folks know about karaoke.
The karaoke after party after every single hybrid show, which the hybrid runs from 7 to 9 p.m. second Saturday of every month. We stick around from 9:30 to about 1 a.m. We get all our drinks in. We get nice and lubricated and ready. We get our liquid courage up, and then everybody takes to the stage. It's a real good time. We had DG up on stage. We had Mariella singing with me and Ray Jane singing backup. It's just a good vibe. It's a family vibe. Join through Zoom. Come to the cafe if you want to properly get drunk and do it up with us, but no way to be there is the wrong way. Appreciate y'all.
A sweaty Paul con queso is why we call him the Honey Trap. He gotta get that work in, man. He wanna keep that title. Also, if you cannot wait till next Monday to sign up, Thursday we have our online open mic. Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Ray Jane hosts that. You can do music, comedy, and of course poetry. All right, let us get back to the poetry. And now, we are not going back to the Monday night online open mic. We are going into the skiff verse right now with the OG New Eureka Poets Cafe member, the true Lower East Sider, the legend himself, Mr. Paul Skiff. Paul, let the uninitiated know where they can find you online, and then we ready for your fire. Baptism by fire. Let's go, Paul.
Hey, hi, everybody. Thanks for the last minute gig. It's always good to be kept on your toes. Thanks, Advocate. And thanks again, everybody who keeps coming here to Inferno Night. I'm on IG, just at Skiffgram. This is sort of a short thing. I originally came up with this decades ago when Miguel first came out telling people of his illness. And I had to kind of rewrite it again about 2 years ago when I lost a really great friend and collaborator. So it's kind of inspired by both Miguel and Terry King Luck Lewis. Pure white sheet, pristine white sheet, who wrapped you in the immaculate white sheet? A burning fruit grows in my mouth, down spark-choked throat, your climax sigh. I live the impossibility of your resurrection. You are gone. I will preserve you back up out of passion in my spirit, like I am all the time we lived together. You are no longer a destination for my voice. The path of earth is ended. The only place you appear now is inside me. I scatter my voice on a world where I need not search. I sow my voice into seasons of the world over which I reach. Warm light of your nearness lifts me from my heart, intricate and tantalizing as an empty hour that pulses in my need. I am devoted now to the cult of thirst. No civilization can make me fear privation of the years without you on the infinity of stairs to your memory. the infinity of the stairs to your memory. No civilization can make me fear privation of years without you on the infinity of the stairs to your memory. Departure is how I can know you. Your departure is how I can know you. Absence is how I can prolong you. Your absence is how I can prolong you by not being part of the world. Many disappearances taught me this. So many disappearances taught me this. Even the flecks of my tongue, even the flecks of my tongue, now even the flecks of my tongue is where you live. Can't you hear you living right now? Even the flecks of my tongue is where you live. Muchas gracias, mi compas. Estoy viniendo a ti esta noche desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Paul Skiff.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Thank you, Skip.
That's the stuff.
Paul Skiff, it's like a seance, it's like a trance. We always say we go into the Skiff verse when he rocks out. OG here at the New Rican Poets Cafe. Thank you, Paul. I know I threw a curveball at you at the last second, asked you to rock out. I appreciate you. Skiff Graham on Instagram. Also check out his website, paulskiff.com. Also want to give a shout out to Steven from the Pennsylvania Poetry Society who's checking us out. Appreciate you for checking us out. Also, someone named Nocturne Queer. I don't know how that is, who that is, but I hope you're enjoying yourself. And of course, to Jenny. Again, I have no idea who Jenny is, but I do recognize the avatar. She comes by every now and then and checks us out. I hope all is well with you, Jenny. Thank you very much. All right. Next coming up is a voice that I feel like I haven't heard from in a long time. And that is the father of the person who's going to replace me here as the Monday Night Online Open Mic host. I didn't forget that. And that is Assam Zane. Assam, I hope all has been well with you. It's a pleasure to have you back. Remind the folks where they can find you online, and then the floor is yours. I'm ready. I miss you, man.
Miss you all. AssamZana.com. And it's so good to be back. Wow. It's great to see everybody. Letter to my dead poetry teacher, who years from now will still be dead. Dear Joe, where to begin? Our phones automatically correct our language, if not our intentions. Remember to rent it. A repository of video clips shows us how metal nature is. The brown vine snake holds its mouth agape to expose the darkness of its throat. This is defensive. Picture Cave, along with the surrounding 43 acres, just sold at auction for $2 million. The Osage are not happy. The executive director of the auction house says there's no cause for concern since all bidders are vetted. They must be liquid and show they're in, quote, the appropriate financial realm for the responsibility that is at stake here. What is at stake here, Joe? Some animated human consciousness. We are the grazing mammal and the burning form and the special dispensation. There is no cave image of an octopus drowning a gull. The girls are doing well. 2 are learning to ride horses. None of them know about the stigmas surrounding menstruation yet. The difference between the creative impulse and the spiritual one, it seems to me, is the etiology of the discontent. What do you think? Also, I'm not sure agape is the highest form of love. I miss you, Joe. I'm trying to center joy more, and it looks like an imminent white flower in whiter snow. I wonder if you still think our motions through the universal plasma, however minuscule, have ripples through the immensity, that we belong to the whole, and that our present lives will always have been lived and cannot be erased. Anyway, the moon still makes its way into a preponderance of poems, still astounds. Experts say it's moving away from us at a rate of a few inches a year. There will come a time when it breaks free from our orbit, but as far as we can tell, the sun will ash out first. Thanks.
Ooh, unmute yourselves. Give it up for Assam Zane.
Good to hear you, man. Welcome back. Let's go.
Assam Zane, make sure you give him a follow. Assam, put your info into the chat to remind the people where they can find you online so that they can remind you to come back here on Mondays, okay? I don't care what you're doing on Mondays. You're supposed to be hanging out with us. Assam Zane, I miss his words. I miss his cadence. Love having him here. A mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic, except a little bit of late. Because, you know, whatever, he's being a father, changing the world, doing all these great things, making people proud of him, blah, 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 whatever. Go give him a follow. He put his link into the chat. All right, next coming up, we go into the left coast with my man who's obnoxiously loud, giving all of y'all a ton of love after you do your poem, and that is my man, Elemental, brother. A pleasure to hear you as always. Looking forward to what fire you bring right now. Let the good folks know where they can find you online, and then we ready to be obnoxiously loud for you and give you love. The floor is yours, man.
Oh shit. Oh my goodness. Potak threw me off, man. Appreciate you, Potak. Elemental.com is where you can find me. To every poet who came before me and after, I truly, truly appreciate your energy. Y'all folks really, really just bring it, and I just have to give it back and bring it back to you. So I appreciate you. As Advocate mentioned, poetically speaking, every other Tuesday, come through IG Live. Storm Gods in the building. Storm Force rocks the world, man. Men who heal, come through. All right, this is brand new, man. So forgive me if I'm slinging paint on your cameras. This is Clown Suits. It starts with a simple desire to be more than meets the G.I. Jonas and the whale grandiose tales of bozos who chuckle at crusty old jokes. But knowing is half the battle, and circus tents with acrobats swinging on flying lies, amusing audiences with maniacal laughter and a Joker bizarro big house. Showtimes run at the Grand Old Opry and Uncle Tom's Cabin daily in the silent spring of campaign season. Red and blue noses, rotating clowns ring out when the game's in towns. Animals that need a 3-ring leader to manage such domination, prosperity, and hunger. No need to worry. It's just poor people starving for nothing more than entertainment checks and social worker visits that only end in more flaming hoops to jump through that smell like credentials, cooking up the next missed meal for famished followers, praying for change from food bank withdrawals of someone else's dollar. Funny how kids who go hungry are just as funny as jokes with no punchlines, like hood cupboards, crickets, where some cover them in chocolate with grasshoppers, make delicacy of cannon fodder in wars for expansion, demanded by violent victimizers turned violators who vibrate on vicious frequencies that become gerrymandering by merrymakers, aka district destruction by way of creative financing, build trust funds in places that make as much difference as fans in hurricanes. But you know how buffoons create vacuums, spit balloons filled with deep throats and greedy gullets of generational wealth. Won't give that up, won't give that up, won't give that up. No way, no sir. From cards dealt to card sharks, wheelers and dealers, handout horrors and recidivism classrooms that taste like 3 hots and a cots and a hard day's work for pennies on their dollar to reinforce color behind color lines, because green is a great equalizer, part paralyzer, while they wipe their asses with enough to feed millions. Remember, homies don't play these Hunger Games. We understand boss hogs don't move that much outside gilded cages. No worry, we'll bring the revolution to you. Peace.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Elemental.
Fun. I'm gonna watch again and again and
Amazing. That was
again.
amazing. That was fire.
Again and
Wow.
again.
That's how you do it.
So good.
Wow.
Quotable after quotable after quotable. When you look up elemental, you spell it like the word elemental, except you take the T out and you put the letter 2 in. Make sure you check him out on Instagram and on his website, elemental.com. My brother from the left coast. Can't wait to get him over here onto the right coast so that we could hear and feel his writing right here in the cafe itself. Appreciate you, brother. Elemental.com. Make sure that you go and check him out. All right, we're going from the left coast all the way back to the right coast, and even more because we're going across the pond to my girlfriend, Mariela Salazar, who's got herself a little 1-2-1-2 to share with the good folks. Mariela, let the folks know, except for Nico Diaz, an urban cowboy poet, where they can follow you online, and then the floor is yours.
I love how Poetic always has these photos. Where are these saved? So you can follow me on Instagram at Made by Mariella. And you can see where that photo is saved. This poem is dedicated to my dad, and it's called Carbon Copy. I was born from the imprint of your nose. Curious, sniffing out the world through ink-stained waters, octopi learned to grow a spine on the spines of books you loaned, Nautilus knowledge. From sunken antique chests, invertebrates inadvertently cultivating 9 brains, each for every drop of wisdom it takes to birth 3 hearts. One was never enough for a man who discovers there was always more to give. Even when distance drifts away, a saddled child, front doors left open in shores of home you built, for I will never forget being nestled by arms of comfort, while tears flowed like salty rivers forced to stay afloat. Life wrapped itself around your finger through the palm of my hand, life jacket in the shape of a child's grasp whose first memory is to reach to dad. Forgive me for the motors of my memory imprint themselves in the cartridges of my mind like automatism. I forget when to swim, when to nest, while home extends itself like the breath of your spirit, whistles in the air in my most quiet storms, sings through the rumble of a still night, gently rocks me to sleep with the laugh of a lullaby that plays to the tune of pull toys and unpacked suitcases meet through the warmth of a long-awaited reunion. Separation so sweet when met with a joyful embrace to know Dad would always find his way to me, even when I do not seek him. Home was an old printing press you built each time my ink ran out. End poem.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Mariela.
Yeah. Great job, Mariela. Love that.
Loved it.
Yeah.
So sweet. So sweet. Very amazing images.
So
Very
Mariella's poem was sponsored by Kleenex because I see a lot of tears in people's eyes. I see a lot of snotty noses. It's Red Nose Day, people, not Snotty Nose Day. I saw y'all all getting emotional. Mariella Salazar, you can follow her on Instagram at Made by Mariella. Also, she sang her heart out at karaoke. Again, y'all gotta come. Second Saturday of the month, we do hybrid and karaoke. Incredibly talented woman who's also getting her LLM at NYU this coming fall. We're all excited for that. New York City ain't ready for you, babe. New York City ain't ready for you. All right, we got one more poet to go. And how can we follow all of this fire night but other than going to a professor? We are going to Professor Nikki Hernandez Maguire. Nikki, thank you so much for joining us, bringing your expertise to close it out properly. Let the good folks know where they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I have a newer IG. It's Nikki Sparks Poetry, and I'm just typing it into the chat now. Please feel free to follow me there. I love to share other people's events and poetry as well. It's not just about me, so please join. All right, so after that beautiful classy poem, I have one that's not as classy. I'll just say that. I wrote this at 2:00 in the morning last night, so it's really, really new. I'm trying to get the hang of it, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so it's called To All the Boys I Played in the 90s. To all the boys whose hearts I've broken, the ones who swore undying devotion and fidelity back when we were young and horny and couldn't grasp how long forever could be. The ones who were so attentive, studiously noting the things I liked best, surprising me later with them, cold mystic pina coladas, sweating tiny ringed pools on my stoop, and Cypress Hill stickers left mysteriously at my door. The ones who looked at me with adoration, who would stare at me through a veil of teenage lust and admiration, who would fight the world for me, for my kisses on their necks, for the ability to make me come, skin warm and flush in the humid summer night, then gently soothed by fingertips and sweet subtle breezes. The ones who gave me their love through lengthy letters, sweet promises of a future together, manifestos on longing and hope, fears and desires. The ones who dedicated songs, Juan Luis Guerra and Boys to Men, claiming the artist truly wrote the song for us, for our unique love, though for me, it was just one of many. See, I was addicted to that feeling of someone wanting you so badly you could feel their vibrations, micro pulses drawing you closer to better hear that steady hum, the sharp scent of opportunity and chance, its aftertaste similar to that one experiences after snorting a generous line. It was an incredible feeling, being loved, being doted on, and I wanted to experience it from more than one person. Call it youth, call it naivete, call it being strange and cruel, but I broke these boys' hearts one by one, thinking I was being merciful by letting them go so that they too could experience this feeling with someone new. And now we are older, and the extent of taking the magic for granted has begun to dawn on me. How boys who once would scale mountains just to be near enough to inhale your scent are now men who will change course mid-climb because someone else has caught their eye. Promises of passion and pleasure will hiss from their lips and be broken on a random Thursday when the girl they really want gives them a second chance. Did we ruin them? My teenage friends and I, giddy with the knowledge that boys wanted us, wanted to please us, and being so frivolous with their attentions? Or is this species destined to never be quite in sync, with one half fully invested, the other searching for better returns, a perpetual dance of longing and heartache? To all the boys whose hearts I've broken, back when Nas and Nirvana pumped from your car stereos, back when relationships were fun for me, but real for you, I am not mad you are now exacting your revenge. Perhaps when we are yet older, there will be some equilibrium. We will stand on the same hillside or the same city block, on equal footing, warm summer breezes soothing us both. Thanks. Sorry, that was so rough.
Oh, unmute yourselves and give it up for the listening Professor
Amazing, amazing,
Wow. Nicely laid out.
That's
Everything
so
just-
good.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Relatable.
The whole thing was fire. The imagery, the technique, all of it was fire. The coming and going of it. Loved it. Nikki Hernandez McGuire. Make sure you go give her a follow in her new poetry Instagram. A mainstay here at the Monday night online open mic. She needs to come to more in-person events. She needs to bring more of that fire, okay? And to make fun of the boys and to apologize to the boys and then make fun of them again, you know, and come in with a big boom box on his shoulder playing Nirvana and Nas. I am here for it. Nikki Hernandez McGuire, pleasure hearing that poem. Woo, what a fire way to end. What a fire way to end. So, a reminder, make sure you check out nuyorican.org. Of course, you can check me out. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Advocate of Wordz. We will be back here next Monday. Shout out to the sung hero of the community, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson. And remember, the rules have changed. Even if you signed up this week, you can sign up next week. We're putting those rules on pause in terms of not being able to sign up in consecutive weeks. Sign up for as many times as your heart desires, especially if you like the theme. And as always, because you have heard my mouth all night long, and I'm truly about building community, I like to end the night with someone else from the community reading our Good Night Sweet Poet poem. So with that being said, I am going to shut up, and we are going to close it out now with the Good Night Sweet Poet poem. Go ahead, take it away.
Thanks, Advocate. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for sharing what you've written. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Good night, sweet poet. May your dreams be as imaginative as tonight's poems. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for inviting the spirit of Miguel Algarín into your home. This has been the Monday Night Online Open Mic, presented by the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, hosted by Advocate of Wordz. On behalf of the community tonight, I, Marilee Johnson, would like to say, good night, sweet poet.